Chapter 18 of Confusion Burrow, United We Stand. Arcade Striker GK5. A twinkle of light appeared above Earth, quickly growing and expanding into a whirly blue maelstrom of energy. 8 ships emerged from the transwarp wormhole. In the center of the formation was a small orange arrowhead of a ship, an Autobot light cruiser named Iacon 1. In the lead was an almost retro-looking gray rocket with an orange Earth engine and maneuvering vanes in the aft section. Surrounding Iacon 1 were 6 small vehicles. 4 of them resembled old Earth fighter jets. The 5th looked more like a small starship than a fighter, while the 6th looked like a helicopter, albeit with its rotors followed it up and retracted. It flew down towards Earth. Communication systems crackling to life.
Starbase 1, this is Iacon 1. Requesting your permission for orbital insertion and atmospheric entry into American airspace. Iacon 1, this is Starbase 1. Permission granted. Damn good to see you. Thank you, Starbase 1. We took some shortcuts. Blitzwing sent us. Cut off some time of our ETA. Iacon 1, over and out.
The ships leveled out slightly, passing dozens of ships in orbit, dry docks, and half-constructed EDC warships into ESS Enterprise, Repulse, and Yokohama in orbit above Canton, Kentucky. The 3 battleships flashed their running lights at the small fleet. The small escorts waggled their wings in return. On board Iacon 1's bridge, Overrun sent the cruiser to a shallow dive, servos in his hands and arms straining as he wrestled the controls.
Get strapped in if we haven't already, he shouted.
In the command chair, Prowl leaned forward, object sensors dimming brightly. We've all been prepared for orbital re-entry since the emergence from hyperspace, Overrun. No need to get dramatic about it. He flipped the switch on the armchair's rest and leaned closer to a speaker.
Prowl to Optimus and Alita. We're entering Earth's...
The ship rocked, Prowl barely moving in his chair.
We're entering Earth's atmosphere.
He looked up at the main view screen.
And we're coming up over Autobot City into battle. We're taking some fire, but nothing serious. Shields are holding.
Optimus Prime's voice came over the ship-wide intercom.
Thank you, Prowl. Autobots, our mission is to drive back these invaders from Earth and assist humanity in defending their world. We owe them a debt, one long overdue to be repaid.
The other com went silent after. The ship nearly followed suit with the rocking and whistling of the ship slamming into the upper atmosphere, providing the only sound. Prowl pressed a few buttons on his chair. The main view screen changed from an image directly ahead of Iacon 1's nose cone to an overhead view of the battle around in over Autobot City. Tactical subroutines kicked in as his battle computer analyzed every sensor reading available. He finally turned around slightly and looked over his shoulder at one of the aft stations.
Put me through the aerial bots, Skyfire and Omega Supreme.
He waited for the announcement before speaking.
All right, Omega. I need you to transform into robot mode and assist Metroplex in taking out that Omega Doom thing. Aerial bots, Skyfire for now. Break off and contain any and all Pony Raiders in the area. Keep the bottle up as best as possible. He paused. And also remember, the Decepticons on the battlefield are not hostiles. Make sure your IFF transponders are updated with the information.
Omega Supreme's voice came over, deep and rumbling, like a tractor trailer passing over 2 inches over your head.
Orders and knowledge. Course set. Omega Supreme, going in.
The voice of Autobot Air Commander Skyfire came in through next.
Understood, Prowl. We'll keep those bizarre ponies away from the civilians. Air raid and firefight, skydive and slingshot, pair off and stick together. Alpha Bravo, you're with me. Let's go!
Prowl cut the comm and looked ahead.
Overrun. Bring us right over Autobot City. Sky high, keep the shields at maximum, and weapons on hot in case any of these knockoff Guardian drones tries anything with us. Thus prepared to drop shields around the Feral hangar bay when Optimus is ready to launch. Any questions?
Overrun brought to laugh.
No? I am wondering how you'll react when the scrap hits the ventilation unit.
His lips curled to a sneer. I believe this is your first major accident since being brought back from the Allspark? Prowl half smiled. We'll find out together, Overrun. Just fly his ship. In Iacon 1's Federal hangar bay, Optimus Prime struck on a jetpack. He double-checked his ion rifle's power pack.
Last stop.
He shouted to the Earth engineer.
We don't have to go home, but we can't stay here. Let's get ready to roll out!
Next to him, Leo 1 pat him on the forehead. Terribly sorry, Optimus, but I'm afraid I won't be able to roll out. The wings mounted to her back, wiggled back and forth. Optimus Prime nodded to her.
I think I can excuse you from that.
Near the hangar doors, Grimlock, leader of the Dinobots, hefted his Aerosol sword with one hand, while waving his double-barreled missile launcher about with the other.
Me, Grimlock, no roll out! Me, Grimlock, kick skin point!
He looked over to the four Dinobots, thrust his sword in the air, the blade thrumming.
Dinobots, move out!
God, I've been wanting to do that all thick! The Dinobots, Slag, Snarl, Sludge, and Sloop all tossed their heads back and roared, waving their own weapons in the air. An alarm sounded in the hangar, klaxons flashing. Now over Autobot City, Ventral Hangar Bay doors opening in 5 seconds. The Autobots all readied themselves, turning as one to the set of double doors. A seam appeared down the middle as they retracted. Outside of them, Autobot City and the fight above within could be seen. Optimus and Leia surged forward, past Grimlock and the other Autobots through the doors. The two-lit gravity carried them away from Iacon 1 for a few seconds. Optimus' jetpack ignited, allowing him to level off. Leia, meanwhile, began transforming. A nose cone slung up from her back and over her head, lengthening. Her arms and legs sunk into her body, hard points bristling with missiles and laser turrets extending from her wings and fuselage, as she completed her transformation into a hypersonic Cybertronian-style Starfire. Nice! The pair flew through the sky for 100 feet. Optimus' head looked left and right.
We have to cut the head off this invasion.
Leia checked her fuselage up and down slightly. Yeah, and I think I know where said head is. She stopped in mid-form and transformed back into robot mode. She spun around and pointed towards the barrier, about half a mile outside Autobot City proper. See that knockoff Grimlock and the way he's waving that sword around? Optimus nodded. Its object sight is brightening.
We're canceling it. Aye.
A sudden explosion shockwave right through below grabbed their attention. Optimus looked down, spotting 4 Kodiak hover tanks clustered around a squat bunker. The gauntleted crown insignia of the Royal Canadian Armored Corps prominent on their armor. Several other hover tanks could be seen, little more than piles of smoking debris. The entire area was surrounded by 6 Guardian drones. They marched forward, heading into hover tanks and letting loose with withering fire from the arm-mounted laser cannons. The remaining tanks returned fire, hypersonic railgun darts launching from their main barrels, while laser cannons on the cupola and the main gun close to the mount raked the drones with lasers. Several of the darts impacted some of the drones, knocking them back several dozen meters from their sheer kinetic energy transfer. The drones stuck to ground, leaving a fairly deep growth in the ground. Alia's optic centers flared green for a moment. If my data tracks are right, that bunker sits right over a shelter with 500 sapient beings inside. She looked back to Optimus. I think we may have to make a short pit stop first. Optimus' right hand retracted into his forearm. The anti-socket glowed for a moment before growing an energy rack emerged.
You read my hard drive, Elena.
He leaned forward, twisting around in midair.
Let's go.
Sergeant Leslie Fraser looked hard at what the screen was presenting. A group of drones had broken through the perimeter and were making a beeline for a civilian shelter. Other forces were already closing off the hole in the lines, but if they turned to deal with the drones already inside, they would be opening their rear to the main enemy force. The company's CEO had already ordered them to intercept the drones, but the map was screaming what their commander had left to silence. Help wasn't coming. His gunner, Master Corporal Lacroix, looked over at him in a few seconds, their rapid advance before they entered their raids.
We're really eager to know, aren't we?
He asked a bit roughly.
Come to the States, he said. We'll have a great time on an off-duty DC.
While listening to Lacroix with one ear, Leslie had already set up how his platoon would deploy. Simply drawing on a map on his screen a mere instant before it appeared on his subordinates. As the formation shifted, he keyed his mic for the entire platoon.
Remember, there's hundreds of civilians down there. No falling back. This is where we stand. This is where they fall.
As the drones closed, the battling systems allowed the entire company's first shot to lance all out simultaneously at the right time to hit the hard set. A mere fraction of a second later, the tungsten alloy penetrator struck home, stumbling and damaging most of the frontline drones. With one pair of lucky shots, he was striking a drone in the same spot in the same moment, causing it to go up in a fireball. From there, it quickly developed into a maelstrom of lasers, railgun fire, and slowly maneuvering drones and tanks that looked much like a dogfight as a tank battle. After a minute of the fight, Leslie noticed that while they weren't losing, they weren't winning either. While every tank in the unit was taking out a couple of drones down before their turn came due, it wasn't going to be enough. Too many had broken through, and the losses were making it harder to actually keep a perimeter around the shelter. Soon enough, they would be too surrounded and stretched too thin to keep from being picked off before they could even resist. His thoughts were interrupted by a massive explosion to the right of his tank. The captain had been the first one to die. Now the company warrant soldier officer was gone as well, leaving Leslie in charge of what remained behind.
Pull back! Start circling the building! Don't let them get closer behind you!
Leslie called out, hoping that somehow, by some miracle, they would at least lead the drones unable to break through and slaughter those they were protecting. They closed in, and breathlessly whispered, "If there's anyone up there, now would be a perfect time." Two metal behemoths suddenly dropped out of the air, Leslie quickly recognizing them as Elita 1 and Optimus Prime. Elita crashed feet first into the drone closest to Leslie's tanks, thrusters in her feet firing, sending out white-hot jets of flame directly to the drone's face. "All sides!" She shouted as she brought her laser rifle around and pointed it point blank at the drone. Cerulean boats pointed at the drone, blowing off the smoking stump of his head, its limbs, and inflexibly blowing through the armor itself. Before the drone had crashed to the ground, Leah was in motion. She wheeled around, bringing her laser rifle up. Wings flashed as she hopped about, dodging incoming fire from two other drones. She wordlessly shot back at him. Elita 1 doesn't get as much love as she should. Meanwhile, close to the bunker, Optimus Prime slashed at her drone with his ion axe, slicing off both limbs with quick, clean cuts. He raised his right foot and kicked the drone square in the torso, sending it tottering back before raising his laser rifle and drilling 2 shots into its optic sensors. He backpedaled 2 shots from another drone struck his backpack, preferring it. Leslie looked at the tanker interior. "What's the hell are we doing sitting on our asses? Let's go!" The hover tank's engines revved as their turrets turned, locking into the remaining drones. They pursued fire, peppering the drones. Between them, Optimus and Elita, the 3 drones still standing, did not stand much longer. Leslie let out a breath as the final drone exploded, sending out shrapnel. He quickly popped the top hats open and stood out as Optimus Prime and Elita holstered their weapons and walked over.
"That's it, Leslie Flater! Royal Canadian Armored Corps!"
he said, saluting. Optimus Prime returned to salute, then dropped to one knee.
"Optimus Prime, Autobot Commander,"
he replied. He held his out his right hand, clenched in a fist.
"Excellent work, Sergeant. The people of those shelters owe you their lives."
Leslie blinked first. He slowly raised his fist and butted against Optimus. "Our duty and honor to perform, sir. Thank you for helping us out." Elita turned and looked over the destroyed hover tanks. Her optics turned green for a moment as she scanned them. "I'm not detecting any life signs, Sergeant." She bowed her head, optics dimming. "I'm sorry we did not arrive sooner." Leslie let out a breath. He dropped his fist and slid to his hat's rim. "Thank you," he finally said. "Unfortunately, remembrances must come later. We still have a duty to those in these shelters." Optimus stood up.
"And we have our duties as well, Sergeant."
He stepped back and saluted.
"We shall leave the shelter in your more than capable hands."
Leslie straightened up as he returned to salute. "Thank you, Optimus Prime. We won't let you or them down." Elita turned around suddenly, optics narrowing slightly. "That Grimlock knockoff still needs to be dealt with." She leaned to her right and looked at Optimus's now smoking and sparking jetpack. "And I doubt you'll be able to follow me there in a timely fashion." She held up a hand. "You're needed elsewhere anyway. The false Celestia must be dealt with. The sooner, the better." Optimus sighed and shrugged the jetpack off.
"You're right. Be careful, Elita."
Elita held her hand up, Optimus placing it against hers. The two interlaced their fingers together. "You know you'll be the one in more danger." She smiled at him, turned and saluted Leslie, then spun about. She ran a short distance before hopping to the air, transforming into her Starfire alt mode and flying off. Both Ultimus and Leslie watched as he flew away. Leslie slowly craned his head up and looked slightly at the Autobot commander. Sir, if I may ask, what is your next move? We should be able to defend this bunker with what we got here, at least for a moment. There aren't any more drones nearby. Optimus glanced down. You're sure, Sergeant. There's no more drones to take out. If you'll excuse me, it's time to roll. With that, he stepped forward, collapsing into himself as he transformed into a short-nosed tractor-trailer cab. I just want to say, for the record, the moment I described that, the test started playing. Optimus's trailer materialized behind him as he drove off, seeking more wrongs to right. You've got the touch. You've got the power. Grimlock raised his sword around a raise as a large starship broke through the upper clouds, descending over the Autobot city and disengorging enemies. What now? How dare they interrupt my carefully laid battle plans? His proximity sensors detected an incoming bogey, IFF transponder tagging as hostile. He swung around midair as a starfire with a white nose cone and dark pink wings bore down on him. Well, you dare tell us I, Grimlock? You shall! Alita plowed into Grimlock, her nose cone impacting his torso and denting his armor plate. Her thrusters angled up, sending her and her unwilling passenger down to the ground. Air brakes flapped open, slowing her down enough so she managed to miss the ground. Momentum, however, took hold of Grimlock, sending him skidding along the ground and digging a deep furrow into the ground. Alita flipped around, transforming and landing at a three-point stance, laser rifle in her right hand. She aimed at the alternate universe of her ally. I gave you a chance to surrender, she said, standing up straight. I would advise. Grimlock let out a howl of animalistic rage. He leaned back, legs snapping together and feet closing shut to form a head and snapping jaws. His upper body rotated around, hands sliding into forearms and claws folding out. Within seconds, he was now a Tyrannosaurus Rex snorting fire. He paused at the ground before charging forward, right at Alita. For a moment, Alita stood still. She let out a very small sigh. Very well, the hard way then. She dropped her laser rifle and reached out. She lunged forward, grabbing Grimlock's jaws. This is... I just want to remind you guys, this is a robot grabbing the jaws of a metallic robotic dinosaur that spreads fire and is holding the jaws open like a boss. And people wonder why I love this crossover and why I love Transformers. Hey, some of you other crossovers that popped up on the show, come here. I'm talking to you, Spires and Magic, and I'm talking to you, One Piece. This is how you're awesome! This is how you be awesome. I want you to go back, rewrite your stories, and try to come up with something that can outdo a robot holding a T-Rex that shoots fire's mouth open. I'll be waiting. The two struggled for several minutes, neither giving ground. Several whined, Energon dripped for the cuts in Alita's fingers. Alita peeled her lip plates back. So, the hard way. Fine. I gave you a chance to surrender, you miscolored knockoff! The thrusters in her calves ignited. Oh my god, she's got the balls to match her boyfriends! She hopped up, let go of his jaws and tried stepping out of the way. Grimlock surged forward, stumbling and planting himself snout first into the ground. Alita looked around, quickly spotting her laser rifle. With a short burst from her leg thrusters, Alita quickly made her way back to her laser rifle. Knelt down, scooped it up, and straightened back up in one fluid motion. She brought it up, waiting for Grimlock to pull a snout from the turd facer. She sighted his right knee joint and pulled the trigger. A half a dozen laser bursts shot out, each one striking the joint. It blew apart, sending out shrapnel and a spray of aerosol from a several fuel line. Grimlock's front bent down as he transformed back into robot mode. Right arm now a dangling, useless mess. He held up his left arm and a rather wicked-looking laser rifle with a bayonet attached on the barrel.
I'll rip up your funeral pulp and show it to you before your optics go dark! He howled, optic band blazing crimson. Aaliyah fired several more times, backpedaling all the while. He blew the laser rifle out of Grimlock's hand with a carefully aimed shot. It peppered his chest with several more, blowing holes through his armor. Groans and ominous creaking came from him, but he pressed on. Aaliyah shook her head. If that's the way you want to play this, fine! She slid a dial on her rifle, increasing the power for the next blast. She waited a handful of moments before firing one final laser blast. The laser rifle barked as a rather large beam shot from it, rocking Aaliyah's chassis for the sheer power behind the energy emission. It struck Grimlock right in the head, blowing it clean off. The smoke and sparks billowed from the cavity upon impact. His now headless body continued on for a few more steps out of sheer momentum before toppling on the ground. It jerked once, then twice, then lay still. Aaliyah kept the laser rifle trained at the body as she walked over. Scarce, sensors scanning for any sign of life. When she was satisfied Grimlock was dead, she lowered her weapon and shook her head. Shuts away, she finally said. She set her rifle back into her subspace storage pocket. Turned, hopped to the air, and transformed back into Starfire mode, flying off to her next battle.
If I only have one complaint about that, is that we didn't get to see Grimlock versus Grimlock.
Metroplex staggered back as Omega Doom pounded him with repeated blows to his upper body and arms. Both Titans bore the scars of their battle. Omega Doom had a nasty gash across his upper torso, and one optic sensor had gone dim. His arms were scarred up, with armor plating shredded down to the mechanics beneath. Metroplex, meanwhile, had the laser lance on his right shoulder cleaned off, as well as 100 gashes, buckled plating, and field leaks all over his body. Omega Doom's right arm shot out, pinchers close around Metroplex's left forearm, claws digging into the already damaged plane. His flexible optic sensor brightened as it tightened its grip, slowly digging into Metroplex's armor. The laser lance on Metroplex's left shoulder rotated, barrel retracting slightly as it aimed into Omega Doom's claw. It fired a long, comparatively thin blue beam at the face joint of one of the claws. Omega Doom let out a screech as the internal mechanism exploded, sending one of the claws flying up and away. Cannons mounted on Omega Doom's chest flipped up, nearest glowing for a moment before firing heavy bursts of plasma right at Metroplex's abdomen. He struck Metroplex's once white armor, denting it and managing to blow small chunks off. Metroplex grunted. He stopped his feet and dug his heels in, shaking the ground and piling a small hill behind him. It's going to take more than that to put me down! Omega Doom's optic sensor narrowed slightly, and a burst of static came from it. Metroplex leaned forward. Same to you, pal! Omega's squat head suddenly shot up. A half-second later, Metroplex's head turned around. He grinned as he spied into rocket mode of Omega Supreme flying towards the two. He tensed for a moment before pushing Omega Doom, summoning away. Half a second later, a bright orange laser beam shot from Omega Supreme's nose cone, striking Omega Doom square in the chest and covering a long, deep gash in his chest. Omega Supreme flew down. Front and back halves of the rocket separated, parts appearing in flashes of light and assembling into a bulky, heavily armored train. Titan. The nose cone ended of his left forearm, an ensign, and maneuvering thrusters his right forearm. Reinforcements arrived. Fight engaged. Omega Supreme, primed for action. Omega Supreme strode forward. Although only about 2/3 the height of the combatants, he was fresh and undamaged. Raised his left arm and pointed to a laser cannon right at the wound he had just inflicted on Omega Doom, and fired. The beam sliced deep into the drone's chassis, sending him stumbling back. Or smoke poured out, and the inside was glowing. Omega Doom clutched at his midsection, doubled over in what appeared to be pain. Metroplex patted Omega Supreme on the shoulder. Thanks for the save, pal. I'll finish this now. He stepped back over to Omega Doom. You fought well. I'll give you your due here. But you're threatening my friends and our world, and you have to be stopped. And Omega and I are the ones who can do it. Omega Doom's head tilted up. He dropped his arms to his side, single optic blading sea crimson.
Metroplex twisted back, bringing his right arm up and cocking his fists. He directed all available power to his right arm before launching it forward, right in Omega Doom's head, and impacted with the force of a large bomb, shearing the cranium in a shower of sparks, smoke, and flame. Omega Doom trotted back and forth on his tread feet, swaying a bit back before leaning back. Metroplex surged forward, grabbing it by the shoulders.
Omega, can you help me some help? I don't want him crushing half the county.
Omega Supreme grabbed Omega Doom, and the two carried it halfway from the main battle area, almost gently placed him down in a wide, flat area of the land due east of Autobot City. The fighting died down as the heavy steps took to earth, forcing everyone around to simply try and not fall over. Omega Supreme went to Metroplex over.
Damage, not insignificant. Repair, needed?
Metroplex shook his head and motioned back to the main battlefield. The combatants had started back up almost as soon as the sinking had stopped.
I don't have time to leak, Omega. We got a plan to defend. Let's go kick some tailgate!
A squadron of Pegasi, one of several, flew off from the barrier, their speed hampered by the vials of potion weighing them down. Below them, the battle being waged by their forces had taken a turn against them. Sergeant Heavywind paid little mind as he flew on, his mind focused like a lightning bolt on his mission. He had to get through the humans' blockade and into their population centers. Heavywind's head darted back and forth, scanning the area. For now, none of the human contraptions or their mechanical allies were anywhere near his squadron.
All right, just a few more minutes and we'll be home free. I want...
A pair of human flying machines suddenly flew up, flanking Heavywind and his squadron. They appeared at the first glance to be like the others used by humans, but upon closer examination, they had unique colors and different frames. The one to their left was black with red trim, with wings attached to the top of the fuselage. The one on their right was red, with white wings attached to the bottom. A voice boomed down from the black machine.
All right, this is air raid of the Autobots. Start to descend to the ground immediately. We don't want to, but we will open fire if you don't comply.
Red Plate immediately spoke.
Do we really have to air raid? I think we can force them down without having to resort to lethal measures.
Air raid ceasers fired.
Fireflight, our weapons do have a sunset, you know, or at the very least, proximity detonation.
Several of the Pegasi squadron exchanged nervous looks. One of them spoke up. Sergeant, perhaps...
Heavywind's head swept out as he stared daggers behind his shoulder. Don't you even think about finishing that sentence! We are pressing on!
He leaned forward, pulled his wings back, narrowing his front file as much as possible. And now I'm playing in my head the mighty wings!
Split the flights! They can't track us all!
Airway to Firelight sped up, closing in close to each other, transforming into robot mode. They spun about midair, weapons appearing in their hands. Should we tell this guy that they're combiners? Nah, let him figure it out. Air Raid held up a comparatively small pistol in a two-handed grip.
Alright, any of you try anything funny, you'll be sorry.
Firefly looked down. That's exactly the biggest threat I ever heard. Air Raid's optics blink on and off.
You think you could have done better?
He asked, keeping his gun trained and rapidly approaching Pegasi.
I warned you!
He fired his pistol at the Pegasi, fingers squeezing against the trigger as rapidly as possible. Many of his shots went wide, but several struck half a dozen Pegasi dead on. Energy bolts expanded, encircling the Pegasi in thick bands of energy. They squeezed them tightly, binding their weights to their bodies. They kicked and thrashed, tossed their heads about. When the energy bands held tight, they slowly began to tumble down to the ground. Heavywind and the other 5 Pegasi split up, each one going in a wildly different direction.
Don't stop!
Heavywind shouted, wings flapping as hard as he ever flapped before. Airway and Firefly sensors tracked their flight plans.
Son of a glitch!
Air Raid snarled out. Firefly! Which one do you think will reach the fastest? He waited 2 seconds before speaking again. Firefly? He spun about, grabbing Firefly by his shoulder, shook him.
Firefly, boot up for Primus' sake!
Firefly saw his split up and on off. Duh, what? Well, sir, let's just go over some old file Skydive sent me about last push. You need a bit for what are you talking about? Air Raid groaned, and I had to get stuck with the looping one. He scanned the surrounding area, spun around. Fuel pump speeding up slightly as he calculated the fleeing Pegasus' speed and trajectory. Ugh, slag. He transformed to jet mode,
flew out towards the closest one. Come on! He barely noticed Firefly's own transformation as he opened the communications channel. Skyfire, this is Air Raid. Firefly and I are in pursuit of raiders. We managed to try to take down half a dozen one squadron. Others are split up. We're chasing down best we can. We're a lot faster than we thought it'd be. Any chance for assist? Over. Skyfire's exasperated voice came over. Oh, Alpha Bravo and I are dealing with our own raiders, Air Raid. I'll send word to the humans to see if they can spare anyone. In the meantime, get into high gear, you two. Air Raid's chassis stuttered as he located the first Pegasus and started trailing her. Sure thing, Fierce Leader. Air Raid, over and out. He set tail off and increased power to his engines. Okay, little pony, please go down nice and easy so I can get to the two heading east right after. Gerald Lennox walked into the Oval Office. Ultra Prell was on his desk. Snapped to attention. He waited for the aides surrounding the president to quiet down, for Quentin to announce him. Mr. President, Icon 1 has arrived and escaped battle in Autobot City. Buzzed to a wall-mounted view screen. May I? Clayton held a hand up. Just wait a moment, Will. Let's get Hollingsworth in here first, so you don't have to repeat yourself. One of the aides turned and left. A few minutes later, she re-entered with Tom Hollingsworth, chairman of Joint Chiefs, in tow. Hollingsworth adjusted his side as he walked. Sorry, Mr. President, he said, teeth writing slightly. I was taking a cat nap. Clayton went off and sat. Don't worry about it, General. Lord knows I've had my share of affair with that happening. That's just right, Will. Lights shot to the screen. He held a small dial pad to the slot below it. The overhead map of the barrier, the battle raging around Autobot City, appeared. Well, I don't have all the details, but the tide of the battles turned pretty rapidly in our favor. That big Omega Doom drone's been taken out by Metroplex, although it insists for Omega Supreme. He paused to rub his chin. Whether the Autobots will let us use it after this whole shindig's over. Hollingsworth spoke up. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves, General Lennox. We still got a long way to go before this is over. Lennox sighed to Hollingsworth. Right. Sorry, General. Well, anyway, the aerial bots, Skyfire, and Army have managed to contain almost all the Pegasus Raiders too. There's a few stragglers here and there. It shouldn't be any real problem to track down. A small rumble reverberated through the room. Lightning flashed outside a clear sunny day. Agent Smith, standing behind Clayton's left shoulder, turned and looked out the window. The inner irises of his sunglasses flashed several times. Mr. President, please stand and step away from the window, he said, pulling his laser pistol from its holster and thumbing the power supply on. Clayton was in a few seconds, parcel laser pistol in his hands, craned his head up and around as several other Secret Service agents moved between him and the window. Smith, what's going on? Smith sets his earpieces. My apologies, Mr. President. It seems we have intruders. 2 Pegasi, for the reports of the roof. Several bolts of lightning hit the Oval Office's window, blowing it open. Several shards of glass flew into the room, showering the room. Several agents were hurled back from the force of the explosion, bleeding from cuts on their faces and hands. The agents, not incapacitated, formed a circle around the president, began moving him back towards the door, sidearms out. Agent Smith, still standing, brought his laser pistol up. Before he could pull the trigger, though, a Pegasus stallion in plane armor flew through the window, barreling him and knocking him aside. A second Pegasus followed, this one also a stallion. The first pony looked around. I'm Sergeant Heavy Wind of Neo Equestria, and we are here to save you from yourself. He spread his wings out, showing off saddlebags filled with file and posted. Who is the first to? Clayton held his laser pistol out. He spread his feet slightly, squared his shoulders, and aimed at Heavy Wind's head. He held his breath as he squeezed the trigger. 2 seconds later, the Secret Service agents surrounded him opened fire. Laser beams shooting him and through him. Heavy Wind's body shuddered slightly, eyes turning glassy. After nearly a minute, they ceased fire. Heavy Wind stood there for a moment, before toppling over, almost in slow motion. He landed with a heavy thud, and files of posters laying out of his saddlebags. The airplane stared at Heavy Wind's course for a long minute. He raised his wings and started rearing back, and was cut down by an immense heavy volley of fire. Clayton thumbed the power supply of his laser pistol and holstered it. He looked around, quickly focused on the insert. Get some medics here on the double, he barked out. Get the wood attended to now.
He approached as close as he dared to Heavy Wind's corpse.
Damn it, what a waste.
He lay outside.
Not to be too delicate, but let's get this cleaned up. Be careful with those vials. The last thing we need is someone to be turned into a new foal.
Smith touched his earpiece and began speaking in low tones. Aides and the other staff began scrambling in and out. Clayton and Hollingsworth walked up the legs, their mouths set in a grim line.
General Lennox, Clayton began, as per Earth Defense regulations, we are hereby formally requesting that the battleships Enterprise, Repulse, and Yokohama prepare to implement Plan 24.
The Oval Office suddenly became a bit more quiet as it did a few seconds ago. Lennox straightened up.
By regulations, Mr. President, I must ask you to reaffirm your request.
Clayton nodded.
I reaffirm my request for General Plan 24, General Lennox. I recognize the severity of your request and prepared for the consequences.
Hollingsworth spoke up.
In the absence of Vice President Tai Thang, I second the President's request, General Lennox.
Lennox glanced from Clayton to Hollingsworth.
Very well. I'll make the preparations to contact the ships in orbit.
With that, he stepped back, turned about, and left the Oval Office. Hollingsworth turned to Clayton.
For the record, while I do agree with the necessity, I only hope it doesn't come through with it.
Clayton nodded slowly.
I wish to God we don't, old friend. As they say, prepare the worst. The worst might still be coming.
3 drones ran down the streets of Autobot City. Their arms raised as they fired bursts from the laser cannons mounted to their arms. He turned the corner and ran right into the Dinobots stomping down the street. Grimlock roared. He leaned forward and spouted a long gout of flame from his mouth. He struck the lead drone, melting its right arm and searing its torso. Slag charged forward, in his Triceratops alternate mode, firing lasers from its horn. The laser sliced holes in the drone's armor, sending it staggering back. Slag continued forward, quickly closing the distance and stabbing it deep with his horn. "Stim it, drone!" he sighed. "You make Slag angry!" He fired his horns again. The laser slicing through the drone's internal machinery. Its massive, smoke and sparks pouring out of every hole in it. Slag jerked his head around, pulling his horns free. He turned and slammed his tail into the drone, sending it tumbling down. Slag leaned to his right, lifted his legs up, and then brought them down, sinking the immediate area and sending the final drone slumming about. It fired, lazy blasts flying wildly in the air. Snarl strode up to it, and almost lazily slung its spiked tail at it, knocking it down. Sloops flew overhead in Terrara on alt mode, firing out seemingly endless successive missiles from its wing-mounted lancers. Within minutes, all 3 drones had been blown apart. The little remains little more than tiny shrapnel that flew out from the explosions and ripped their chassis apart. Grimlock transformed into robot mode and thrust his Arizona sword into the air.
"Bring on more Tin Men! We all Dinobots rip them apart! Just like these ones!"
All across Autobot City and the area around the barrier, almost identical scenes were playing out as the invaded drones were encircled, cut off from each other, destroyed. Any neo-equestrian ponies inside the city were rounded up, stunned when possible, dealt with lethally if the defenders left no choice. Optimus Prime shot off the head of one of the last remaining drones still inside Autobot City. He glanced up as Shockwave flew towards him and touched down a few meters away. He walked forward, sending his ion rifle back into his subspace storage pocket before stopping and bowing slightly.
"Shockwave, thank you for coming and helping us out. You and the others have saved a lot of lives today and brought the galaxy one step closer to peace."
Shockwave stood there for a moment before returning to bow.
"Your thanks are welcome, but ultimately not necessary. We aided you because it was a logical thing to do. The odds of the new Decepticon Empire surviving have increased dramatically with these actions."
Optimus straightened up.
"I know Starscream's in it for his survival, but it'll still mean endless fuel shed. I'll take that, Shockwave. Peace."
Shockwave raised his left arm and fired a long, thin laser beam from the kin, and Longco replaced his hand. It shot past Optimus's head, striking a Cybertronian with a gray chassis and rust-colored highlights, slicing through his chest.
stumbled forward, orange smoke pouring from his mouth as he collapsed to the ground. Ozzy's sensors going dark. Shockwave walked forward. You did not flinch. That's because he's Optimus Prime, motherfucker! Optimus kept his eyes level on Shockwave. Shooting me would be illogical in this situation, Shockwave. He turned and looked down at the permanently offline mech. He shook his head. I wonder who he was. Shockwave stepped up to Optimus' side. An enemy before, scratch metal now. He looked at the Autobot leader. Optimus, I request that after the battle is over, Astro Train be allowed to refuel for the journey back to New Voss. Optimus looked up at Shockwave. No. You'll all be allowed to refuel. To have any damage occurred, repair. You did us a good turn. We owe you on that. Shockwave's optic sensors brightened slightly. I thank you. I'll admit, being trusted to compensate like that is going to be difficult to get used to. Optimus slowly nodded. I think so. There are a lot of things both sides are going to have to get used to. The wall-mounted fuse screen in the shelter turned on. Attention, all citizens! The attack against Autobot City has been driven off. I say again, the attack against Autobot City has been driven off. Please remain at your current location until Earth Demands Command can reach you. Attention, citizens! They spun around in a circle. Lake Gallon! He said, finally stopping and facing Mike and Molly as they sat along the couch, along with Michelle. So, also them forgetting about us? Eljack snorted. I'm not laying one bit down on that, Dan. Rainbow's ass hopped up and puffed the air. This is ridiculous! I should have been out there doing something! Randy stopped from responding to the table snoring. Doing what, Bashants? Rainbow Dazzle looked at her and shrugged. I don't know. Being so awesome that those weirdos leave? Michelle spoke up. I like your cool Rainbow Days. Rainbow Dazzle looked at her and grinned. Thanks, Michelle. She tilted her head back and forth. Although, you're pretty cool, too. A bright light suddenly shone from the door near the back of the room, catching everyone's attention. Danny, Mike, Molly, Rainbow Dash, and Applejack moved forward. Mike standing in front of his star. Rarity, Fluttershy, and Pinkie Pie clustered together. Suddenly, Pinkie Pie ran off and disappeared behind the couch. Applejack glanced over his shoulder. Car Star, Blinky, what the Tartarus are you doing? Pinkie Pie emerged, pushing a small blue can. Everyone was staring as he strived. I got pint can stats all over, in case of emergencies. Danny slowly nodded. We'll take it. The light dimmed, and the silhouette of the figure emerged. Step forward, quickly resolving himself to Megan. She looked around and slowly smiled. Hi, gal, she said, waving back. I'm Mike. Mike's jaw dropped. He slowly stepped forward. Megan, is it? He held his arms out. Is it really you? Megan looked at him, eyes watering slightly. Yes, Mac. I got a little help from some friends, old and new, and I'm back. Mike surged forward, wrapping his arms around Megan. Megan returned the embrace, the two kissing. For a brief moment, the two were the only things to exist in their universe. The moment soon passed, and Danny and Molly approached. Starting to smell the mood, Molly said. But how do we know it's really you? Megan leaned to her left to stare down at Molly. Shall I tell everyone about the crush you had on that rat guy from the Stinger? Saying, Molly sat her hands up. Okay, it's her. She blurted out, it's on me. Danny looked at her. Wait, I thought you hated the Slingers. Molly ground. Not the time, Danny. Not the time. She walked up to Megan and tapped her finger at her. Don't you ever do anything like this again. Megan sprout the embrace and your younger sister. Okay, well, Mike's sure not to be attacked by an evil version of Celestia, change to an Alcorn, and go out to be able to princess ponies to get James back. Fair enough? Molly nodded. Fair enough. She said, smiling as her eyes wired. Megan looked around. Wait, where's... Ah! She knelt down and smiled at Michelle. She held her arms out. Michelle, it's me. Molly's back at... Oof! The wind was snatched from Megan as her younger daughter surged forward, wrapping her arms around Megan. Mama, you're back! She cried out, smiling and crying. Megan smiled as she returned the hug, barely reacting as Mike stepped down, joined in. I am, honey. I am. Rarity wiped his nose
Oh, this is so lovely. She floated a handkerchief over her blue and nuzzled to it. See, I found him. You're nice like this. Rainbow Dash opened her mouth, but stopped and had a smile. Yeah, it is. Mushy, but it is. Megan smiled and stood up. Thanks for totally not spoiling the moment, Thaddeus. She looked around. Where's Twilight? Ain't Celestia shown up yet? Thaddeus shook his head. Leslie heard Twilight was helping with the bell. At least transforming Autobot City to fortress mode. Pulled out his phone. I think with the bell winding down, we can call her up and get the straight stoop. He tapped her finger at Pinkie Pie. And no ice cream puns! Pinkie Pie rolled her eyes. Fine. Then he pulled out his phone. He dialed Twilight Sparkle up. He held the phone to his head. After a moment, he spoke. Twilight, hi! How's it going with Wheeljack? Uh-huh, that's great. Listen, Megan just showed up in our shelter. Can you... Wait, what? He looked around, finally focusing on a sign. Shelter 47 Alpha, why? Another flash of light erupted in the room. It faded, leaving Twilight Sparkle there. So he looked around. Oh, good. I managed to avoid materializing inside the wall. Megan stared at her. Well, that's a good find. Twilight Sparkle looked up at Megan and gasped. Megan, you're human again! She tried forward. How did you do it? Or who did it for you? Megan knelt down and hugged Twilight Sparkle. It's a long story that I'll tell everyone after that Queen Celestia is taken care of and her Neo-Equestria is defeated. She looked back up. Okay, so that's the bearers of the elements. She looked back up, rubbed her chin. Let's see. Has the Optimus Prime landed it? Mike snapped his fingers. Yes. We heard a report on it a few minutes before you arrived from wherever you were. Rainbow Dash snickered. Yeah, but we still need Princess Celestia to show up with the elements of harmony. A tear rubbed open in the fabric of space. The other chaos was startling everyone. It widened, allowed what appeared to be Princess Celestia to walk through. Normally, drinking a box falling behind her. She turned, the globe around her horn brightened, and the tear resealed. There we go. She looked around. It's me, Princess Celestia. She folded the box in front of her and opened it. And I brought the elements of harmony. Then he looked to the ceiling with his hand. We still need to say at Hoss for the bagels to show up and declare her undying love for me. I don't know, he sighed. Where's the shot? Megan walked up to the unicorn. Celestia, stop! She held her hand. Before we continue, are you our Celestia? Celestia stared at her. The Cure released Disintegration in 1989. It was their 8th studio album. There are 12 songs on it, totaling 71 minutes, 47 seconds. The third song on it is Close Down. You brought it for me for my birthday. It is currently in the vault, with heavy preservation spells on it. Zia smiled. Anything else? Megan shook her head. Well, it's more than enough. She grinned widely as she walked over to Celestia and threw her arms around her in a big hug. I am so glad to see you. Be able to hug you like this again. Celestia leaned in a hug and knuckles so amazing. I'm so glad you're human again. She stood Megan's hair and her brow wrinkled. What? Megan slowly shook her head. Later, alright? Celestia sighed but nodded. She broke from Megan's hug and looked around as Twilight Sparkle, Rarity, Applejack, Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, and Fluttershy approached. She folded the box over, opened it, and gave them each their element. I am very glad to see you, my little ponies. You've all made me very proud. Applejack looked down and blushed slightly. Like a princess. Truth be told, Twilight's done the most out of all of us. Twilight Sparkle swallowed in stride. Only due to circumstances, Applejack. Make it clear her throat. Okay, before we get off track, let's figure out who's going where or doing what, alright? Celestia nodded. Excellent idea. She turned around. Twilight, you and the other bearers of the elements shall accompany Optimus Prime and I to Neo-Equestria. I can get us there. Megan spoke up. I'll come on too. I think it'll help. And I have a personal stake in this. Mike stepped up to Megan's side, gently took her hand in his. Megan, I don't want to sound like I'm second guessing you or anything like that, but you sure you're going there? Megan looked down and gently squeezed his hand. You don't sound like that, and I'm sure, Mike. She leaned in and kissed him on the cheek. Thank you for worrying and caring. I love you too. Michelle walked over to Megan's side and gently tugged her Megan's arm. Mama? She waited for Megan to look down before continuing. Take her boat. Tension melted, if only well. Megan hugged her younger daughter. We'll kick it from here to the outer colonies, honey. She stood back up and patted herself down. All right, my phone was inside the house, which was disintegrated by the Queen. She looked at Mike. Honey, would you please call Danielle and let her know I'm all right? Mike nodded. Sure thing, Megan. Then he spoke up. All right. I don't think Molly, Mike, Michelle, or I will be much good out there in New Equestria. He looked around. Well, sir, it's true. Molly shrugged. I'm not disagreeing with you, Danny. She looked at Megan. Doesn't mean I don't wish I could help in some way. Megan nodded to Molly. That's what I says. She glanced at the ceiling. All right. I guess all we need now to do is get in touch with someone from outside. Let them know Celestia and I are here, and we need to get to Optimus Prime. A few seconds later, the soldiers hatched open. Commander Marie Hernandez walked inside. Apologizes for interrupting anything. She turned to look around, pointing up at the camera set in the corner. We've been monitoring the conversation. She stepped in front of Celestia, bowed at the waist. An honor to meet you, Your Highness. Then he glanced at the ceiling. So, I guess all we need now is to get me $5 million into my bank account. He waited a handful of heartbeats before sighing. Again, worth a try. Celestia returned a bow. The honor is mine, Commander. Marie looked at Megan and extended her hand. Mrs. Richards, finally meet you in the flesh. Megan smiled at Robert and took Marie's proffered hand. Nice to see you, Commander. Thanks for taking care of my family. Marie took a breath. All right, to make this quick. She jabbed the thumb towards the ceiling. There's a car outside that can take those going to New Equestria to Autobot City's command tower. Optimus Prime is sitting there as we speak. This is the best place for a rendezvous. She looked to the right. Mr. Richards, unless you have any objections, we'll escort you and your family back to your room than you were in before. Mike shook his head. No objections, Commander. Thanks. Megan clapped her hands together. Well, looks like one way or another, this thing's gonna be over sooner or later. Won't say we'll definitely win. We will go down swinging.